Hello and welcome to another edition of Worth a Watch with me, Anthony Flores. This is my review of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 3D. I say that with a terrible German accent because there is not a single German accent to be found in this movie. That could be a major inconsistency considering this is originated from a German fairy tale. Stupidity aside, I am just going to say this. I think the story of this was a nice idea. It was not terrible. It wasn't perfectly executed by any means, but it was a decent little B-movie in my opinion. The stars of this film are Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton, who play the lead characters Hansel and Gretel, and Famke Janssen, the grand evil witch of this entire film. The plot is pretty simple. It takes place with almost like an homage to Tim Burton films. It's very dark, very creepy. The retelling almost of the original fairy tale happens in the beginning of this film. And it takes off with some nice promise. It is really creepy. It has its very own style. Makes witches look really fuck ugly, to say the least. And then after that, it kind of hits a lot of speed bumps. The negatives are, of course, the script and the just giant plot holes in this movie film. It is just so choppy and doesn't make any sense sometimes if you really pay attention. And as a film reviewer, I kind of have to do that. But aside from that, the main mistake is just the plot holes. A lot of stuff just doesn't connect together. It's not cohesive enough sometimes, and it just doesn't make any sense how one scene goes from this scene to another scene goes over here, and then boom, some events happen, but then they kind of don't. It's a little bit all over the place if you don't understand what I'm trying to say. But that's probably the biggest negative of the film. Sure, there's nitpicking like, oh my god, this is a German fairy tale. Why the fuck is there no German accents in this picture? Which will segue for us into the good stuff about this film. Gemma Arterton is hot, for one. I loved her ever since I saw her in Prince of Persia. If anybody ever remembers that film. And there was just some interesting stuff thrown in here. The visuals in this film are what make it. The 3D is actually really good. A lot of shit flying at you. Pieces of trees and blood and gore and all over the place in your face. In your face, you see, it's just flying in your face. That made no sense. Visually, it is just one heck of a movie. There was some effort put in here. I just wish there was more. I wish there was more effort, just a tad bit more to make this a solid, good film. But it's a B movie at best. There was actually puppets and animatronics with a couple of characters in this film. There's prosthetics instead of CGI. There is actually some pretty cool fight scenes and gore all over. For those of you who are really gore fans and want to see witches explode, you will see this in this movie. But with all those positive things I could say about this movie, there is a lot of negative, unfortunately. I really wish I could give more credit to this film because there are just some good ideas and they were executed but not well. It's January. It's a time for shit films, and I can't give this film too much flack because it did advertise itself this way. Oh yeah, random other fact, Will Ferrell and Anna McKay produced this. I don't know if that's a joke, but apparently it could be a very clever one. But regardless, what I've said about, I'm all over the place with this review, so I apologize for that, but that's kind of what this movie is. It's a bit all over the place, and you really have to just really love action and really not give a shit what's going on the screen. If you are a nitpicking person that cannot turn off your brain, you're gonna hate this film. So if you don't enjoy B movies, stay away. If you love B movies and all their stupidity and glory, see this film right now in the theater and enjoy some 3D because it's actually pretty decent. I'm shocked to even say that. So my final rating on this movie is a 7 out of 10. So that is my review of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 3D. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment below, like this video, subscribe, and all that other good stuff in between. So until next time, I'm Anthony Flores with Worth a Watch, and keep going in the movies.